Okay, it has been too long since I've done a drugstore get ready with me, or really any kind of get ready with me. I was sick for a lot of November, and I feel like I'm still not feeling 100% or really looking like myself. So I just want to sit down and do a little bit more of almost like a full glam look. Not too glam because I don't really have a lot going on today, but I do want to incorporate a little bit of color and I just want to feel good. So I'm just starting with the NYX Plump Bright Back Primer. So I put this in my everyday makeup drawer for the fall season just because it had been a little while since I used it regularly. And I'm so glad I did because I cannot put it down. It's definitely less intense than the e.l.f. Power Grip. It doesn't have like the same tackiness, but there is like a little bit of a stickiness to it. So I find that it does lock your makeup into place well, and it also just feels very smooth on the skin, and I do think it hydrates the skin too. Okay, I think I said I'm going to be testing out some newer products, and then there have been a couple of products that are somewhat newer. I mean, at this point, they've been out for a few weeks, but I wanted to use them in today's video too, because there have been some great affordable products that I think are just as good as high-end, if not better. So that's kind of the theme of today's video. A lot of affordable makeup products that are actually better than high-end products in my collection. And new drugstore launches are right around the corner. Usually drugstore brands start releasing things like January, even like end of December. So I'm curious to see what they're going to be launching over the next few weeks. So let me apply a lip oil. These are the two I've been enjoying. The Catrice Gloss and Glow Tinted Lip Oils have been my favorite, but they do leave your lips, well, let's just use this one. I was going to say they leave your lips kind of pink because they are like that pH changing formula. This one is in the shade Keep It Juicy. This one's a little bit less intense because it is one of the lighter shades. They do have an orange one and then also a yellow one, and I don't find that those tint my lips quite as intensely as like the pink and red ones. Or yeah, the red one even tints your lips pretty pink too. I talked about these in my favorites and fails video I did at the beginning of November. You'll see my lip color start to change because it does go on lighter, and then as it starts to change, it definitely looks more vibrant, but that's kind of nice. I was opposed to pH changing lip products for a long time, but I don't really feel that way anymore because sometimes it's nice to have like a hint of color that actually lasts, and these do stain the lips. There's like a bright hot pink and a bright red, and like by the end of the day, the color is still there. So it's kind of like a glossy lip stain, but they feel so nice. Like if I didn't know this was Catrice, I would think it was like a $24 lip product. It just has like that thick, luxurious feel to it. It really is moisturizing. Like some lip oils do dry your lips out, but these leave your lips feeling moisturized even once they wear off. So for foundation, I was going to go with like one of my staples, but I feel like I'm always using the Catrice True Skin or the Catrice HD. So I thought I would try out a new one. This is not a brand new launch. I actually purchased it probably like a month or two ago at this point, but I haven't worn it because it's a little bit dark for me. So I am going to mix in this LA Girl pigment just to lighten it up, but it's the CoverGirl TruBlend Matte Made Foundation. I've heard really good things about this. This one is in the shade Classic Ivory L40, which is just a little bit too dark. I think during the summer it would have been fine. So I'm just going to mix in a little bit of that LA Girl pigment just to lighten it up. Sometimes I feel like you have to play around with it a little bit and then go in and add more. I think that should be fine. I have some new makeup brushes I'm going to be using. These are from Real Techniques. They launched a newer collection called I think it's called the New Nudes collection. So they have some face brushes, they have some eye brushes, but I thought I would test these out. Real Techniques brushes are some of my favorites. They were just on sale. I'm gonna go over my eyelid too because my eyes have been a little bit red, and some days I do skip eye primer. But Real Techniques brushes were just on sale at Ulta for Cyber Monday, like 40% off, which was such a good deal. Did I grab a few? I'm not sure. I will do a Black Friday Cyber Monday haul because I did take advantage of some beauty deals this year. Last year I skipped a lot of the beauty and makeup deals, and this year I was like, I don't want to miss out because there are specific products or specific brands I really wanted to try, and I wanted to get the products for a discounted price while I could. This foundation is going on really nicely. I might have mixed in just slightly too much of the white pigment, but I haven't tried this foundation, so I'm not sure if it oxidizes or not. I usually prefer just to go a little bit lighter with foundation than a little bit darker because when I blend it down onto my neck, if it's a little bit too dark, I feel like that's so obvious. And usually once I have like all of my cheek products on, it always ends up coming together. But this looks nice. It definitely has like a soft matte finish, but it looks natural on the skin. Like it doesn't look dry compared to some other matte foundations out there. I honestly cannot comprehend the fact that it is almost December. Not that I lost November, but because I was sick for a lot of it, I feel like the month, like I just didn't really get a ton done, at least not what I wanted to. And I don't know, it's just such a busy time of the year. And I don't know, 2023 as a whole just flew by so fast. Okay, here's how the foundation looks. It went on really nicely. It definitely has like a very pretty, just soft matte finish. I think it looks really natural on the skin. It does have pretty good coverage. It covered up my redness, evened out my skin tone. You could probably build it up to look even more intense if that's what you want, but you could also sheer it out. Like I went in with about maybe like a pump and a half of it, but if I went in with even less and really worked it into the skin, I definitely could get more of a natural look. But like I said, I'm just going for a little bit more of a glam look today, kind of like an everyday glam look. So I like it. I'm curious to see how it holds up throughout the day. I think it will probably be fine because it is very cold outside. It's like 25 degrees. I saw the first snowflakes this morning. So for concealer, I'm going to be using the Flower Beauty Get Real Serum Concealer. I haven't put together my list of all of my favorite makeup products for 2023, like all of the best launches, but I know for a fact this one will be on there. This is just such a good formula. I have the shade Vanilla. It's been a little while since I've used this regularly because I have been on a big Natasha Denona Tower 28 concealer kick. Those have been my two go-tos. I'm actually going to use this Real Techniques blurring concealer brush. This one is 083. Normally I don't use a brush like this for concealer. I usually use a little bit more of a dense brush. They also had this one in the set. This one is their filtered cheek brush, 082. This is probably more so what I would use as concealer. Maybe I'll use both. Let's use the actual concealer brush on the right side. But like I said, I've been using Tower 28 and Natasha Denona a lot because I love those formulas. But those didn't come out until maybe like mid to end of 2023. And for the beginning of 2023, what other concealer was I using? I can't remember, but the Flower Beauty one was like my top pick for most of the beginning of 2023. I don't know if I love this brush for concealer. Like it's fine. Let's try the other one on the other side. This one almost feels a little bit scratchy, but it's doing a good job blending the product in. I like the design of these new Real Techniques brushes. I think they look so pretty. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. This one is in the shade Light. I also have like the pink toned one, but I think I'm going to go in with this one. The only thing about the Flower Beauty concealer is that it does crease quickly, so you have to set it into place fast, like blend it out and then set it. But once you set it, it stays and it's fine throughout the day. I'm curious to know, what drugstore launches are you hoping to see in 2024? I feel like every year, like the drugstore brands just get better and better. Oh, I saw NYX is actually coming out with some new lip products too. I feel like it's called like Duck Plump or something like that. Like it's strange. When I saw it on Instagram, I was like, that's an interesting choice. And I also thought it was interesting because it wasn't that long ago that they launched the Fat Oil lip glosses. And I'm pretty sure the new one, again, is some sort of lip gloss. They actually did two. They did kind of like a gloss and then also like a gloss stick that looks similar to the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips. So I will definitely be trying those out. But what are you curious to see in 2024? I feel like a lot of brands did lip products in 2023. I do want to go in with cream bronzer before I powder the rest of my face. I'm going to try a new one. This is the Catrice Magic Shaper Contour and Glow Stick. So technically this is a contour stick, and it is a little bit on the cooler side. Which one do I have? 010 Light. They actually have a really good selection of shades because they did send them to me. I donated the rest because they were just going to be way too dark for me. I think this is the lightest one, unless they have one that's even just a little bit lighter. But it's very pigmented. It's definitely, it's creamy, but it's not like going to slip away. Like I feel like this could be a really good alternative to the Makeup by Mario bronzer stick. So let's try it out today. The only thing is it's a little bit smaller. Usually I don't like to apply the stick directly to my face because that's how I find that it ends up looking patchy. I like to go in with my brush. And I've really been loving this brush set from e.l.f. They did like a holiday kit called like the Snow Globe set. Ooh, the only thing about these is like it's kind of hard to get it evenly on the brush. I wonder if I apply it to the back of my hand and then use the brush, if that would be better. Because like I said, if I apply it directly to my face, that's how it ends up looking patchy. But this is my favorite brush for bronzer. It's their complexion duo brush. They did a set, like it has all permanent brushes in it, but some of my absolute favorites. So I did repurchase it, or I did grab the set because it was like a $30 value for 15. Okay, it's going on nicely, but it's definitely really subtle because I applied it to the back of my hand and then picked it up with the brush. And I do think this brush from e.l.f. tends to sheer out the product anyway. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it's definitely more subtle, like I said. I think you'll probably get a better result by drawing it directly on the face. I know that won't work for me. I usually go in these days with like a little bit on my nose too. Just kind of go down the sides a little bit. I'm just going to set everything into place with this Eco Tools full powder brush. I recently repurchased this. I love this brush so, so much. I had mine for such a long time, and then it was starting to get, like, just after washing it and using it a lot, the bristles were kind of all over the place. It's such a nice soft brush. Anyway, I think that went on nicely. I wish it was a little bit bigger, like the shape of the Makeup by Mario one, so I could use my brush with it. But if you do, or if you're looking for an affordable cream contour, this did blend out well. We'll see. I think it will hold up well, honestly, just based on the way it feels. There's also a highlighter on the other side, but the highlighter is just a little bit glittery. Here's the highlighter, and then here's the contour shade. I really like the shade of this. I feel like it is the perfect tone. I'm just running the NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Gel through my brows, and then I'll move on to eyes. So I think I'm going to keep the eyeshadow a little bit more simple today, but I'm going to use blue eyeliner. And then I'm going to be testing out this new mascara from Covergirl. It's their Cleantopia mascara, but it's the Ultramarine black one. It's an intense black with a hint of blue for brighter, wide awake eyes. That actually sounds perfect to me because as much as I want to love colorful mascara, I mean, I'm just practically like day to day, I'm not going to reach for a blue mascara. It's just not my personal preference. I feel like if I want to wear color, I'll just wear a colorful eyeshadow. Colorful eyeliner, I think, is a nice option too because it adds like a pop of color without being too much. But I feel like a black mascara with a hint of blue sounds perfect because it's just like the perfect touch of color without being too over the top. I'm going to let this brow gel dry completely and then I'll go in and fill them in with a brow pen. So let me show you like kind of like my inspiration pick. I saw this photo of Kelsey Ballerini. I was shopping for the mascara and I love her makeup here. So she has the new mascara on and then she kind of has like blue liner and then her eyeshadow is pretty neutral. I love Kelsey Ballerini. I'm not like a big country music fan. I don't have anything against it. I just feel like it's not what I typically listen to, but I've always been such a fan of hers, and her Rolling Up the Welcome Mat album, that's like her latest album, is so good. And I just think she's beautiful and she just seems like a cool person. But anyway, I love her makeup in this picture. And I think the mascara will probably be a little bit subtle, but I like that they paired it with blue eyeliner. Obviously, I feel like they're trying to kind of enhance the blue mascara, but it looked like it went well together. Oh, I don't think I said, I'm using the e.l.f. Love You a Latte palette. I just started with this shade right here. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time. I use it every single, maybe not every single day, but almost, because usually palettes I'm using are missing just like one of my staple shadows, whether it is like a light brow bone color or one of the crease shades or the dark browns. So I probably do reach for this most days. As always, I'll just do the other eye off camera just to save a little bit of time. So for the lid, I'm just going to take the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Ritz, which is so gorgeous. A lot of people say this is a dupe for Urban Decay's Moondust Shadow in Space Cowboy. It does give a similar effect, but it's definitely a different formula. The Super Shock shadows are very, very creamy, almost like cream to powders, although mine's kind of dried out. I need to repurchase mine. This one I've had for a while, I think. Oh shoot, I think I missed the $2. Did I miss it? The $2 ColourPop Super Shock Shadow sale. I actually think it was yesterday. Ugh, filming this on the 28th. It was on the 27th. I really wanted to repurchase a couple of my favorite shades. It's really, really pretty. I feel like it just makes it look like you did a lot more than you actually did, or like you spent a lot more time on your eyeshadow than you did. So in the photo, she kind of has winged liner right here, and then it looks like they did skip it kind of in the center. I'm actually just going to take it and do like a full winged liner with it. So this is from Essence. It's their Stay and Play gel liner in the shade Midnight Sky. I love these liners so, so much. I I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk and do this at the same time. I'll try. I've been using the black one to tightline a lot, but these liners are so nice. They're very, very creamy. So they just glide on really easily, whether you're using them on like your upper lash line to either tightline or do a wing or your waterline. But I also find that they stay in place so well. Because they are creamy, like there's a little bit of time to actually work with them. So I'm just using this Real Techniques angled brow brush and I'm just kind of blending it in. I've actually been doing a lot of pencil liner lately and not as much liquid liner. I just think it's a little bit softer, not quite as harsh. So there's the blue liner. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye and I'm excited to see how it pairs with the mascara. Okay, I'm just applying a little bit of the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. This one's in the shade Honey Talks. I really love these two. These do have a minty scent, which at first I wasn't sold on. And I don't know if it's because now it's like the holiday season. I do kind of like it. I feel like it's not my favorite. I would have preferred like a vanilla scent or probably just vanilla. That's probably my favorite when it comes to lip products. Anyway, this formula is really good too. It definitely feels more like a true lip oil. Like it's a little bit thinner. It is glossy. It feels good. It looks good. So I enjoy these two. And e.l.f., they do have like a bunch of shades to choose from compared to Catrice. Like they have some lighter shades that are like just more sheer. They have an actual clear, some that have a hint of color. So I do enjoy these too. Okay, I'm just going to take this Real Techniques brush, the smudge brush, and the brown shadow I used in the crease and just apply this to my lower lash line. This is like the product that I'm most excited to try. I do hope the blue like actually shows up because my issue with a lot of colorful mascaras is they don't end up looking that colorful on the eyes. I do have darker lashes. Oh, it looks blue on the brush, but I know sometimes if you have lighter lashes, colorful mascaras are a little more vibrant, or you could always pair them with an eye primer to really enhance that too, or an eyelash primer, but I do want to just try this on its own. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see the blue. It's pretty, but it's not like that bright cobalt blue. Like I feel like a lot of blue mascaras are the color of my eyeliner, which I do like as eyeliner. I like that color even as eyeshadow, but I don't love it as mascara on me. So we'll see how this one looks. You know what? I just finished up the Cleantopia mascara not that long ago. I did an empties video and I told you it was fine. It wasn't like my favorite mascara of all time, so I wasn't planning on repurchasing it right away, but they got me with this blue one. Here's how the first coat looks. In person, it definitely looks blue, but it's very subtle blue. It's really, really pretty. This is a little bit more of a natural mascara, so I don't think I'm going to get like super dramatic lashes, but I'm going to go in with one more coat and then I'll probably put some on the bottom lashes too. Okay, I just kind of cleaned things up a little bit, applied a little bit of concealer to that freckle on my nose. I did apply the mascara on the lower lashes. The side's just looking a little clumpy. And I think it looks pretty. Like it's definitely a subtle blue. If you want an intense blue mascara, I wouldn't go for this one. There are other brands that make more vibrant blues. I think ColourPop has one, but I like the fact that it is subtle. I'm kind of curious to wear it without the blue liner too, because that's obviously going to kind of pull out more of the blue. But on the lower lashes, like I can tell it's blue, but it's so subtle, which I actually really like. I feel like this fits my makeup style a little more than like a cobalt blue mascara. Okay, I'm just going to fill in my brows really quickly with this NYX brow pen, and then I'll finish up the cheeks. All right, I'm just taking the lightest shade from that e.l.f. palette and running it on my brow bone to make sure there are no harsh lines. I've kind of been skipping blush a lot lately. I don't know. I'm just not into it right now. I feel like I just like bronzer and I like highlighter, although that could change next week. I feel like I just go through phases with every makeup product. It might also be because the bronzer that I love, this one from Flower Beauty, almost looks a little bit like blush. I'm actually just going to take that Eco Tools brush that I was using for powder earlier. This one's really shedding. I'm just going to apply a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why I do kind of skip blush sometimes, because this has like a very reddish tone to it. So it almost gives like a blush look. But I usually use this on top of my cream bronzer just to add like a little extra color. I've been using my Essence Pure Nude Highlighter so much. So I repurchased this a few months ago and I have tried this highlighter so many times over the years, just like on and off. And it really depends what my makeup preferences are at the time, because if I'm really into intense highlighters, like this is really not my go-to because it is so subtle. But the reason why I like it right now is because I am into more of a subtle look. and it just looks so soft and natural. Like there's a very subtle glow to it, which I love. So if you are someone who's just not into intense highlighter either, this is a great option. It really is so similar to Hourglass in my opinion. I still have one of those like Hourglass 6-pan palettes I got a few years ago, and occasionally I'll use the highlighter in it, and every time I use it, I'm like, that feels just like the Essence one. Okay, let's finish up with the lips. My lips are still kind of stained pink from that lip oil. So again, very, very long lasting. Okay, have you tried the new e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liners? Cream Glide Lip Liners? For some reason, I thought they had a different name. These are so good. They're $2. They're very, very creamy, and they just stay in place well. I've said this before, but e.l.f., like they haven't always done these wooden pencil liners, but like the last few years when they've done some sort of like collab or limited edition collection, when they did the that wasn't it. The summer, what was it called? Like that pink summer paradise collection, retro paradise. I really liked that collection. They did lip liners, and I still have them because I still use them, and they were like wooden pencil lip liners. And normally I don't like lip liners like this, but after trying those and like a few other ones they've done, I decided to grab these, and they're so good. Very creamy, but these actually dry down and they really stay in place. The only thing is they don't have the shade names on them, so I don't know which shade this is. Is this shade too warm? I feel like I wanted a little bit of a cooler look. I'm going to go in with a cooler gloss. I'll try to find the exact shade I'm wearing. I'll compare it to the other ones and put the shade in the description box below. ColourPop recently, I guess I don't know how recently, they redid a lot of their lip products, or they repackaged them. I wasn't always the biggest fan of the ultra glossy lips, but I think they changed the formula. They did change the applicator because they used to have like a tiny brush tip applicator, which I didn't love. Now they have like just like a flat paddle doe foot. And I don't know, the formula is a little bit different. It's very creamy. Like they're so good. I have a couple of shades and I've been wearing them a lot. I do feel like a lot of the lip glosses I've been enjoying lately are high-end glosses. So, I mean, there are a lot of drugstore options I like too, but this is definitely a standout formula to me. It's very creamy, it's light, but also really glossy and smooth. This shade is called Major Throwback. I don't know. I think ideally a little bit of maybe a cooler toned lip would have been better. I don't know. I kind of like it because I feel like it adds like a little more color. I'm just going to go with it. Actually, there's one more thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to add this liquid liner from e.l.f. So I guess this is going to kind of glam it up just a little bit more. Not liquid liner, liquid eyeshadow. This is their Duochrome liquid shadow, and this one specifically is in the shade Venus Envy. These are so gorgeous. I did film like an Instagram reel and a TikTok on them and like a couple of other new e.l.f. launches, and I just think they're so gorgeous. I have tested them out as actual liquid shadows, and they are great that way too, but I haven't actually worn them as like an inner corner. I love it. It's so intense. So again, I do feel like this will kind of glam it up just a little bit more. These dry so fast, so you have to work quickly with these. They dry faster than e.l.f.'s other liquid shadows, but they lock down, they do not move. They're super, super long lasting. So that is really nice because if you apply these all over the lid, like they're not going anywhere all day long, but you don't have a ton of time to work with them, but they're so gorgeous. Actually, let me just swatch these for you. This one is Venus Envy. Look how intense that is. This one is really pretty too. This reminds me of a nail polish I used to have. This one is called Mermazing. So interesting. It has like a green to blue shift. And then the last one is called Cyberpink. So it's this one right here. It kind of just looks like really pink and gold on the eyes. So interesting. I love these. I think they are so, so much fun. So I'm definitely a fan of these too. Okay, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. It was so much fun to sit down and do my makeup. It's been so long since I've filmed a video like this, which I guess the month of November was just, it was a rough month. So I'm kind of behind on everything, but I will catch up and do some review videos. I'm excited to film all of like the end of the year wrap up videos. I have a lot planned for December, but if there's anything you want to see, let me know in the comment section below so I can add it to my list. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you watching my videos and just sticking with me throughout the month of November and just in 2023 in general. I'm excited to see what 2024 has in store. But before we get into that, we still have one more month. So I would love for you to subscribe so you don't miss my wrap up videos, all of my favorites and fails from the year. And I'll be back very soon with a new one. Bye.